So the Montreal budget handed down earlier today. We took calls on this a couple of times during the show. Not a lot of people on board suggesting, oh, this seems like a fair budget. Biggest tax increase in 10 years. Residential tax increase averaging around 4.9%. Some places are getting hit a lot harder than that. And, of course, the chief one, 7.2% tax hike out in Pierrefonds-Roxborough. So there are others in the 6% range. There are a couple like in NDG-Côte-des-Neiges at 5.5%.
We're all mad.
But 7.2% in Pierrefonds-Roxborough. We
crazy.
had Mayor out there, Jim Bass, talking about this. He was not happy. Take a listen to some of what he said.
This is something I've been saying for years as mayor of Pierrefonds-Roxborough, the largest community, and I talk on behalf of the West Island as well whenever I can. Don't tell me that we've increased public transit options in the West. Don't tell me that we've increased the crisis management initiatives to flood prevent. Don't tell me that we've done anything in terms of housing for the vulnerable and those in need. Don't tell me that we've injected money for the food banks that are serving now more than double, if not triple, the clients that they were serving before. These increases, in many ways, from what we've seen in years past, are meant to inject important funds to some pet projects that they have in other areas of Montreal, may be wanted by the populations that live there locally, but doesn't necessarily respond to the population at large.
That's some of what Jim Bass had to say. Maja Vodanovic is the mayor of Lachine. She's also an executive committee member for the city of Montreal. So, Maja, first of all, thank you for joining us. I know this was not your first choice, perhaps, to be with us this afternoon, but we do appreciate you being here. You heard what Jim Bass had to say.
Yes,
and yes, to be honest, he's talking about his particular borough in Pierrefonds-Roxborough. They got hit the hardest. But to his point, you can understand why he's angry.
Well, Aaron, I'm also from the West Island, right? I'm in Lachine. I'm like on the border, Montreal and West Island. I understand, that he's frustrated, but there's a lot of things that he's saying that are that shock me. I mean, he said them today. I was right next to him, and I didn't have a chance to respond. But he's saying public transit. I mean, they have the REM. The REM is going there, and the REM is costing hundreds of millions of dollars to the city. We're implementing new stations, des aménagements. We have to coordinate the work. We have to make certain streets. We're doing all of this. So we are spending money, and public transit will be so much better in the West Island. And about flooding, we are spending lots of money. There's all these natural disasters that have been happening this year with all these French words are coming up in my mind. Verglas, the ice storm. The ice that was there, the flooding, yes, from the water, like in where Jim Bass is, from La Rivière des Prairies, but also downtown and in Lachine and elsewhere around Montreal, where people are being flooded, their basements, because there's too much water all of a sudden. So this budget addresses specifically those things.
I think if you find it shocking what Mayor Jim Bass had to say in his criticisms of this budget, I think you would be gobsmacked by what our listeners had to say about it. They're outraged. They think there's nothing in here that reflects the priorities of the reality of what Montrealers are living right now. People are hurting. They don't have money to put food on their table, and $500 million being invested in bike paths and Bixies that can run all winter long.
I'm so glad you're giving me this opportunity to talk to you, because this is a misconception. Let me just tell you, a lot of people have problems with lead. Their private homes are connected with lead pipes to the public pipes. And the city is investing $673 million to correct this. We've corrected 7,400 pipes now since 2021. And we're going to be correcting 44,000 pipes. We're investing $528 million in our drainage system across Montreal in the next few years. So this is our water retention bands, our collectors, so that people don't flood. We're doing this.
Okay,
We've been doing this for the last 10 years.
I thought we moved on from flooding. And I don't think anyone has a problem with infrastructure spending when it needs to be spent. I don't think that's an issue.
No, I don't think so.
But is $500 million allocated for Bixie and bike paths right now an important part of this budget, given what the city is going through and what people are going through inflation-wise?
Bixie actually pays for itself. I had the same, I was looking at the budget myself when I looked specifically at Bixie, and Bixie actually pays itself pretty much. So that's not a huge expense. And it's a great thing because it prevents us from having green gas house emissions, and it prevents us from having flooding. So, and people are active and out there.
No one's disputing that. That's sure. But winter Bixby, I mean, I know that's the city's, proud, thing to hold up now and say, look what we're doing. You can ride your bike in the winter. I am sure by the time this is rolling, we'll be able to count on the fingers of two hands how many people actually run Bixby in the winter. Can
I tell you just the budget the infrastructure budget, almost $24 billion, half of that is going into water infrastructure and road infrastructure.
Okay.
And the roads in the city have actually, the surface of the road has increased. It's better. It's better than it was. Between 2015 to now, we had 54% roads that were in really bad shape or in bad shape, and today it's only 24%.
Okay.
Okay, but
Maja, we're back to
this
roads.
Is real things. And you know what? We have money. We have put in, before people in the budgets, we had $10 million for housing. Our budget last year, we had $600 million. We spent $50 million buying property, buying homes, buying conciergeries so that people can stay.
And how many got built and how many got converted outside of the ones that were just bought?
We are buying. We have money to buy. And I know, and I'm in Lachine. We are building. Spaces where you can say, I really encourage everyone to look at the budget. I understand it's frustrating because we have to pay more, but know that we are faced with inflation and we are under the inflation. And I have three budgets. I have snow removal and I see the increase in prices. I also see water. We have to maintain
Mayor, I have to just, please forgive me for interrupting.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel like there's a fundamental lack of understanding here. The situation that Montrealers are truly in.
Yes.
And people need some reassurance. And knowing that their mortgages are going up, inflation's, everything is going up. And now that their property taxes are going up at such a high rate at a time when things are so tight, it really hurts to see where the city has chosen to spend their money.
The city, I'm really, everybody is hurting right now. Everybody's hurting. But if we want to maintain the services that we have for the city, if we want to maintain water, the pickup of garbage, the cleaning of the streets, we have to index. We have to go with the inflation. We have to put the increase because we are spending. Just for instance, some contracts cost us 30% more. Garbage removal is 30% more.
And I think people understand that. Certainly the citizens understand that everything costs more. The city's not immune from inflation. I understand that. Look, we're going to run out of time. I will ask you one thing. I know from having heard David Hertel speak earlier today, part of what's in this budget is a $400,000 pop-up for the Office de Consultation Publique de Montréal, which is already kind of mired in a bit of a situation right now. Why are we spending more money when less than half of that money, from what we're told, actually goes to consultation? What is the point of that?
Well, the city of Montreal and Valérie Plante, we are looking. The commission is looking at all this on Friday. They're coming in to justify their numbers, and actions will be taken to correct that. And that the mayor has assured us that this will happen because this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and we're going to be looking at other paramunicipal organizations around the city that are pretty independent, but we will do the necessary task to tackle that because that is unacceptable.
Okay.
I agree with service to the population, yes, but not outrageous expenses, and that's a no. And so this is now is being looked at, and I can assure you it will not pass the way it is right now.
You're in a difficult position today. We very much appreciate your time. I do want to just ask, why is it that it's the mayor's borough of Ville-Marie that has the lowest increase yet again this year?
I think it has the lowest increase because they have a lot of citizens. There's office space, and office space they pay a lot of money. So they don't need to increase that much.
Okay.
I will ask one last thing to let you go. I think we said that twice already. Hiring 400 additional employees for the city. Why are we doing that?
Okay. 200 are employees in the boroughs that are doing services directly to the citizens. Okay. And especially in Lachine, for instance, we've hired people that clean streets. We've also hired people because we're doing a whole new borough. 10,000 new buildings are going to go up. We don't have the workforce for that. So we have to hire people, and we have to hire engineers too that are going to help keep our streets safer. And
don't we already have these people in the city?
No,
doing
we
this?
Don't have them.
No?
We don't have them in. And Jim Base can tell you we don't have enough people in to do specific things. And then the other 200 are paid. A lot of them are paid by a government subsidy. It's 125 police officers that are paid by the Quebec government, and those police officers will help check the streets because right now the police officers are so overworked. They're working on crime prevention, and they don't have time to be on the street at the check if people are going at 30 kilometers an hour.
This is over and above the $35 million set aside in the budget for the police?
No, this is all part of it. We're saying this is the money that is going to be I think it's 225 people that are going to be hired for the police. This is all part of the same budget. I believe, I don't know which 35 million you're talking about, but just so you know that this is covered by the provincial government. And we're also putting in more inspectors from the fire department because that was cut over the years. And we're putting them back to make sure that the homes are safe.
The 35 million, by the way, the 35 million says 35 million to the Montreal Police Force, primarily to hire just over 100 additional officers. That's in the budget.
Yes. Well, then, but our budget is 8% is subsidized by the provincial
Maja,
government.
we're out of time. And to Natasha's point, we do want to thank you. I know it's a tough day. It's always tough when you introduce a new budget, and no one's ever going to be happy. But we thank you so much for chatting with us. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.